More than 24 hours after the brutal attack on a woman inside a Bangalore ATM, there have been no arrests. The victim herself, a bank manager, is partially paralyzed after several hours of surgery today. The CCTV footage of the incident has horrified everyone, showing how a man entered the ATM and attacked her with a machete. Now the state government says that ATMs without guards will be shut down.
The swift and brutal attack in a Bangalore ATM, captured on CCTV, evokes shock and horror.
She has got, unfortunately, right-sided complete paralysis. She should be fine. The skull is broken and a part of the bone piece was driven directly into the brain substance.
Bangalore's police commissioner visited the woman in hospital and said he had told banks more than once what they needed to do to ensure safety at ATMs. But not all banks complied. But the Home Minister made it clear that things would change. No ATMs without guards would be allowed to function.
We have told the police commissioner to take necessary action immediately. Request them to deploy guards.
Right now, many ATM centers in the city have no security guards.
This lady was bleeding for 3 hours inside the ATM. There were 3 traffic policemen at the time of the incident, 50 meters away. Even if one were alert, used his presence of mind to think why an ATM was half shut by the shutter during broad daylight. Perhaps the lady would not have lost as much blood.
It was meant to be a routine visit to an ATM in broad daylight in a busy part of town. But it led to physical and emotional trauma. She has undergone brain and plastic surgery here at this hospital and should hopefully make a full physical recovery. But to recover from the shock will take both her and the city of Bangalore a much longer time. With Radhika Iyer, Maya Sharma in Bangalore for NDTV.
Well, should the onus be on banks themselves to ensure that there is 24-hour security at these ATMs, or is this also a failure of policing? Joining us on the program tonight, we have Karnataka Minister Dinesh Gundu Rao joining us from Bangalore, also activist Harish Bijur. Alik Padamsi joins us from Mumbai tonight, and Kiran Bedi is here in the studio with us. Mr. Gundu Rao, let me ask you first, sir. There have been actually a series of robberies at ATMs in Bangalore and in other major cities as well. And earlier this year, in June, in fact, this police in Bangalore had said that it was shutting down ATMs that didn't have 24-hour security and that didn't have guards stationed there. But sir, this particular ATM also did not have a guard stationed there. So clearly that has not worked. What happened?
Yeah, I think the Bangalore police and the Home Minister have had about 2 or 3 meetings with the bank officials and had given them instructions. And also the bank people also had taken time to comply with it. And meanwhile, this horrible incident has taken place. So I think, the security of an ATM or a bank, definitely the responsibility mainly lies with the banking authorities. And in Bangalore, we have about almost 2,500 ATMs in and around Bangalore. And I think more than 600 of these ATMs do not have any security guards as of now. So definitely there's a big lack of security at these ATMs.
But why, sir? Why is that happening? Is that because banks are not cooperating, that they don't want to cough up the money for 24-hour security? What's the biggest problem?
Exactly. I think the banks feel that, maybe they're feeling that financially it's not viable for them to have security. So I think the government has clearly told them, if you can't provide security, shut the ATM down. Because this is like inviting trouble, and the way the ATMs are located and structured, it's we've already had about 32 incidents in Bangalore this year where ATMs have been attacked. And definitely I think the banks have to wake up and provide security. If they can't provide security, I think, the police can't be standing near the ATM and providing security. So definitely this is the major responsibility will lie with the bank. But also there should be coordination between the banking, with the bankers and the police, where they can probably establish hotlines or better communication mechanisms where when such incidents take place, there could be instant, information which is passed on.
I just want to mention here that we did ask the corporation bank in whose ATM this happened to come on the program. We did ask the Association for Bankers also to join us tonight. Nobody was willing to speak on this this evening. But Harish Bijur, what is scary about this incident as well is that it happened in broad daylight. The guy was brazen enough to come in, pull the shutters down. Everyone knows that ATMs have CCTVs, and that clearly wasn't a deterrent either. What does that tell you about law and order then in Bangalore?
You know, Nidhi, actually, this has been a brazen crime, and we woke up to a gory day today. And if you really look at it, I think security, the umbrella cover of all security is given by the government and the policing system. And under it is, of course, the bank, which needs to look after its own ATMs and its peoples. And the third, bit of it is the citizen. Because I think, it's time we stopped outsourcing our security concerns to others. I think we need to own it. And I think that seems to be the reality, because this city has grown far too big. And I don't think our service providers of the city are able to provide the kind of security that the citizens really require.